I'll show you what a progression roadmap could look like from beginner to full stack strategist. We do this by breaking down the progression of a strategist into 5 phases and discussing the specific skills to learn in each of these phases. Strategy is a deep skill, and there are many paths we can take to master strategic thinking and strategy development. This is one way to level up our ability. So let's begin. Phase 1, the analyst. When starting out, a lot of people have the misconception that to learn strategy, they need to start their education on a specific strategy topic like product strategy or marketing strategy. But without any context of working in a business, a lot of that education will not resonate. In the early days, I would upweight the data analysis and commercial modeling as the main skills to master. The goal in this phase is to start early and develop commercial acumen. I now have the luxury of hindsight, and I kind of lucked into developing my commercial skills early on in my career. But doing so has given me an edge. Every executive or client you work with will take you more seriously if you can speak in the language of business, which is economics. I've worked with business executives from different backgrounds, whether that be law, sales, or engineering. And they all have one thing in common. That is exceptional commercial skills. They have a good instinct on strategic decisions that impact profits and customer lifetime value. So I pick analysis and commercial modeling as an area to get good early on. We're probably early in our career and might have recently finished school or college, so a lot of that foundational math is still kind of fresh. The focus in this stage is on learning how to view and process and then interpret large amounts of data. And then we learn to take it a step further by creating simple driver-based models to understand how to look at inputs and how to look at levers that will drive a revenue and profit outcome. Phase 2, the specialist. Here we want to progress the commercial modeling skills from simple to complex models. We want to be in a position where you can comfortably talk about revenue, cost, and profit drivers, and understand return on spend. In the future, you may need to ask for capital or convince an executive to make a big strategic move, which will often require you to demonstrate how it's the best use of capital. This is also a good time to learn complex problem solving. Where in the early days you can get away with brute forcing your analysis, now you want to get smarter on how you allocate your bandwidth to perform that analysis. Do this by getting used to framing the problems and breaking them down into their component parts, so you can perform analysis on each part. With this phase, your goal is to be very comfortable with the numbers, like data analysis and commercial models, and also with problem-solving techniques. Phase 3, the principal. We're fairly experienced at this stage and have a good grasp on the technical skills required to do our job. Now is a good place to take the skill of strategic storytelling seriously. That's not to say you can't do it earlier since it's a critical skill. It's just that with the more technical skills in a good place, we can now shift our attention to more the creative side. Strategy is both art and science. That is to say, it requires both creative and technical skills. The danger of a strategist only focusing on the technical is that half the equation is ignored, and we miss the full potential of strategy, which is both creative and technical. Learning the pyramid form of communication is a good place to start. This framework is called the Minto Pyramid, and it was developed by Barbara Minto many decades ago, but it's still relevant today. This method of structuring story is an answer-first way of communicating. This is because we have a governing thought, which is the big idea or the answer for the story, and then we go into arguments and supporting evidence. One mistake I've seen people make in business is not structuring their thoughts, or putting too much emphasis up front on the detail, which then leads to the point getting lost in the mix. This pyramid form of communication helps to clarify our thinking, and is flexible in that it can be used in different places, from emails to reports to full strategy documents. And since it's a skill used so frequently, it's worth mastering strategic storytelling. Now at this stage, we have a strong foundation to add to the next set of strategic skills to our kit. Phase 4, the advisor. You're fairly experienced at this stage and you begin to take a more advisory capacity. You're either advising your teams or you're giving them strategic direction. People are now seeking your counsel on how to tackle tough problems. Now that you are comfortable with storytelling, this is a good place to progress to visual design, so you can expand the skill in the form of visual storytelling. Early on in our career, we can get away with dry or boring presentations. The expectations are fairly low. But as you progress, you often find yourself needing to sell your idea or influence people to take action. Creating captivating visual presentations combined with good logic and clear structures will give you an edge, and it will help amplify your message. It's worth at least learning the basics of visual design and visual hierarchy principles and applying those principles into your strategy documents. You can learn this earlier on, of course, but it's more important to prioritize the skill of storytelling first, and then you can expand the storytelling skill with visualization. This phase is also a good place to learn execution as well. Most strategies unfortunately get shelved. Learning the mechanics of execution not only improves the quality of your strategy, since you build a more implementable strategy, it's also highly valued by clients or bosses. Even as a strategist who is deeply involved with writing the strategy, you'll often be expected to help guide the mobilization effort, which is the bridge that shifts from strategizing mode to action mode. In some cases, you as a strategist will run the execution of that strategy. So, for example, you could be a product strategist running execution of its product design, or a technology strategist leading the execution of its platform design. In this phase, we can add yet another skill to the mix, which is decision making. We're now at the stage where the stakes are very high, and using decision-making frameworks to assess and weight various decisions will come in handy, especially when teams are stuck and unable to move forward on the strategic recommendation. Your earlier skill in building logic trees and creating story will help you frame decisions and help you guide the team on a recommended action, which has good rationale. At this point in the journey, you are an accomplished strategist, which now leads to the next phase. Phase 5, the Innovator. In this phase, you have developed your strategic thinking and strategy development ability. You can frame problems, deconstruct them to create thoughtful solutions. You can sell that solution or idea using strategic storytelling, and you can guide teams through difficult decisions. So what's left? This is now a good place to develop your innovation skill set. Businesses typically create long-term value through innovation. The ability to understand trends and changes in the marketplace and think about new ways to position your business and make that big chess move is one way to add value. You start looking for ways to make things faster, make it cheaper, make it more personalized or more digitized. You understand that for your business to stay ahead and grow sustainably over a long period of time, you need to innovate any combination of your products, your sales and service experience, the way you run operations, and the technology and the way you run your technology platforms. Also, you understand shifts in the market and begin to position your business away from declining trends and take advantage of growing or emerging trends. At this level of the game, you're a seasoned strategist. Where in previous stages you rely on existing frameworks to help think through problems and structure your thoughts, as a seasoned strategist, you are able to develop your own unique frameworks that help you think about how to solve problems or win in the market. In this final phase, you're a strategic thinker, and you're able to more easily connect the dots and extrapolate future scenarios. And this is where you're a full stack strategist. If you're enjoying the strategy content and you want to get access to tools and training to help you make strategy, then head over to my website, overnightstrategist.com. I've got a bunch of tools and frameworks to inspire your strategy making. Thanks, and see you soon.